Today I'm going to show you how to make this fun 13 candle money card. Hi, my name's Ella and I love making simple creative crafts you can personalize for any occasion. Let's start with what you need. First, fold your cardstock in half. I'm just using the edge of a marker to crease it so the fold comes out nice and neat. Next, count how many notes you're gifting. I've got 8 here, so we'll need to make 8 note holders. To make them, cut your straw into 3 centimeter sections. Then from the bottom of each piece, cut a 1 centimeter slit. Next, cut across to one side, then the other. So you can open it up and flatten those little wings. Trim the wings off and you'll be left with a piece like this. Repeat the same steps for the rest of your straws. Now we'll fold each note into a tube. I'm using a skewer to help with this. Our Australian currency is plastic and a bit slippery, so the skewer makes it a little bit easier to roll. Once you slide it off the skewer, you'll notice it's still a bit too big to fit into the straw. This is where a pair of pointy tweezers comes in handy. Grab the end of the note inside the tube, then wind it around the tweezers until it's nice and tight. Insert the rolled note into the straw from the end without the little tab. You might need to twist it slightly to get it in there. Repeat the steps for all of your notes. This card is for my nephew, and since he's turning 13, I want to have 13 candles. That means I need to make a few extra using just the straws. First, measure the length of the money candles and cut the straws to match. Then prepare the bottoms of the straw the same way as before. Cut a slit, cut across, and create the little tab. I'll need 5 of these straw candles. They don't have to be perfectly identical. In fact, a little variation adds to that handmade charm, which I always think is nicer. I like to arrange mine so they're symmetrical. Next, lay a strip of sticky tape on your work surface with the sticky side facing up. Carefully place each little tab onto the tape. Then trim away any excess tape. Press firmly so you know all the tabs are well secured. At this stage, you could simply attach the candles directly to your card using double-sided tape, but I'm going to make a pocket so the candles can be neatly inserted. First, measure the total width of the candles and transfer that measurement onto your scrap piece of cardstock, leaving about 5 centimeters of space from the left edge. Using a pencil, mark the points on either side of the candles, then repeat those marks further down the card. Connecting the marks with a straight line, then scoring along those lines. I'm using an embossing tool, but you can use anything with a fine point that isn't too sharp. Fold along the score lines. Next, measure the width of straw and draw a pencil line at the distance from the fold. Repeat on the other side. Score and fold again, pressing the folds so they are nice and crisp. Decide how deep you like the candles to sit inside the pocket. For me, it's about 3.5 centimeters. Mark that point on one side, repeat on the other, and connect the marks with a straight line. From that line, measure down the width of a straw, mark 2 dots, and score another horizontal line. Now, mark a point a centimeter out from the scored lines on both edges. Repeat further down the card and connect those points with a pencil line. Draw another line about a centimeter below your last horizontal line. These will be your cutting guides. Draw diagonal lines for areas that need cutting away. Cut away the small sections you've marked with diagonal lines. Then fold along all of the score lines from earlier. If any folds feel tricky, you can rescore them and use the edge of a ruler to fold against. We are going to cut here, 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 and here. I should have cut it further to the next line. Mark diagonal lines for sections to be cut off. I know it's hard to see, maybe this will make it a bit better. The bottom tabs we cut to the crease. The little tabs we cut all of it off. It should now fold together like this. Add a strip of double-sided tape here. This is where our candles will sit. Press them down firmly to make sure they're well secured. Next, add 2 small strips of double-sided tape to the tabs. Or you can use glue if you prefer. Trim away any excess tape. Press along the edge so the tape or glue adheres well to the sides. Then repeat the same step for the other side. And just like that, our pocket is complete. To mount the pocket onto the card, start by deciding where you like the candles to sit. I'm leaving a little space at the top so I can add some words later. Once you're happy with the placement, use a pencil to mark 2 small dots on either side. Join the dots with the pencil line so it's easier to see. Open the card, then use a ruler and Stanley knife to carefully cut along the line. Now simply slot the tab of the pocket into the slit you just made. A couple of small pieces of sticky tape on the inside will hold it securely in place. Don't worry, they won't show once the card is finished. Next, I'm testing a few of my markers to see which one I like best for the flames. The flames themselves are just simple teardrop shapes, and I like that they're not all exactly the same height. It gives a nice handmade feel. I'm adding happy birthday to the front of the card, but you can write whatever suits your occasion best. I've also added officially a teenager at the top for a fun touch. I like to add an insert to the card. It gives a nice finished look. Take your A4 sheet of paper and fold it in half. Insert it into the card. As you can see, it's showing along the edges. I like to trim about 2 millimeters from the top and from the open edge. Flip the paper over so the open edge is on the left and apply a thin layer of glue. Flip it back again and carefully insert it into the card, making sure it's not sticking out on any side. Give it a gentle press to set it in place. Then open the card and apply glue. Close the card and press again so the glue can fully adhere. To make the envelope, start with your A3 copy paper. Place the card in the center of the page and make a crease to mark where the card starts. Then move the card about 1 centimeter away from you and fold again to make another crease. Add a couple of small marks at the top and bottom to show the size of the card. Using those creases as guides, fold the paper so the edges are crisp. You notice there's quite a lot of overlap, so we'll trim away the excess. Open the page back up, find the marks you made earlier, and place your ruler horizontally. Draw 2 lines away from the center, then repeat on the other side. Using your Stanley knife, cut along these lines. Next, draw diagonal lines from each corner mark to the edges, then cut along those as well. Place your ruler along the edges where the side flaps will fold and crease them firmly. Repeating on both sides. Sharpen the creases. Then apply glue to the top flap. Fold down the other flap over and press to secure. Finally, glue down one of the open ends, leaving the top open so you can slide in your card. And just like that, the envelope is finished. I've written my nephew's name on the front. And when you're ready to seal it, you can use a small strip of double-sided tape or simply close it with a little glue. And that's our money card all ready to gift. Thanks for crafting along with me today. If you enjoyed this one, subscribe and I'll see you in the next project.